It's not like we have a choice, Tanaka said as she looked forward. Though there was an appearance of a casual driver, there were signs of tension with how Tanaka was holding the steering wheel and observing the road. Ayaka looked forward, watching the asphalt going under them. With how high up the seat was relative to the road, it gave the sensation of flying. There were only a few times that Ayaka was able to ride as a passenger up in the front, like in a car. Mostly, her experiences were riding the bus or the rare, occasional taxi if she had the money for it. Taking longer to reach the shelter means that we increase the risk of running into those things. Since we don't know where they are, it'll be as if we're gambling every day. I'd rather quickly try to make our way to our destination than be slow while worrying if we'll be eaten or killed along the way. Tanaka broke the silence. Ayaka looked at the soldier. How bad is it? Pressing her lips together, Tanaka took a moment before saying, It's bad. Taking a breath and letting it out, she continued. Due to the fact that we only have a self-defense force, our numbers couldn't handle what happened that night. Even before we could mount a defense, it was practically over. There weren't any warnings? Ayaka was stunned, only now hearing what had occurred that night. Even at the base that they were staying at, the soldiers kept their lips tightly sealed. Now, she was thinking it was to prevent a panic. Tanaka shook her head. There was absolutely no warning. We only found out when our intelligence picked up strange communication between the various police units. They talked about humans behaving strangely and killing people in large numbers. Her hands squeezed the wheel tight. With each hour that passed, the information coming in that what was happening wasn't limited to our nation. Both across the sea and the ocean, nations were collapsing as they tried to handle the strange monsters. How about the Union? Ayaka asked. Couldn't they have sent aid? We're allies, right? Laughing. You'd think that, right? As soon as those things showed up, all the soldiers on their bases fled back on their ships. Somehow, they were able to prepare transportation for their people, and before we knew it, their forces were withdrawn. Tanaka sneered. I remember one of my superiors yelling into the radio that Union forces were required to support our nation in times of crisis, but they refused to acknowledge any of it. I even hear that the Empire is in a similar situation as us. Her teeth were clenched tight in anger at the betrayal by an ally. Ayaka was quiet upon the Empire being mentioned. It's even worse how the monsters appear to adapt to anything that we can throw at them. Tanaka shook her head, lost in her memories. Not expecting to discover that the monsters were adapting to the strategies to fight against them, Ayaka quickly looked at Tanaka. Sometime during the night, our guns lost their effectiveness. It was as though we were just throwing sticks. Tanaka laughed. Honestly, it had been better to just throw sticks at them. She breathed in deeply and let it out, as though releasing the anxiety from inside of her. I didn't realize it was that bad, Ayaka said. When we were at the base, for a long time nothing happened. I just assumed that the soldiers were able to fight them off. Tanaka quickly looked at Ayaka before returning to check the road. To be honest, like, really honest, the monsters probably didn't think the base was worth it to attack. That's the only reason why it would have been able to last for any significant time. It's why the moment those things came and attacked where I was stationed, it was as good as over.